All right, we're going to talk about recursive definitions in this tutorial on sequences and series. The first thing is a recursive definition is different than an explicit definition. And here's an example of one, and I would just want to go through it how we identify the first 5 terms. Many times recursive definitions are a function that uses the previous terms or the previous few terms. Now, this is a more complex one when we go through this, but we want to write the first 5 terms. So when we have this, we have our first term, which is given. All right, and recursive definitions always have first couple initial terms which are given. In this case, we have 2 of them which are given. Now, the next thing is we want to find the third, the fourth, and the 5th term. Now, to do that, we're going to be using the recursive formula. And the recursive formula you can see right here. Okay? Now, to do so, we're going to look at this and say, okay, in order to use this formula, we have a sub k plus 1. So to find this value right here, all right, a sub 3 has to be equivalent to a sub k plus 1, or say plus 2. Now, when we have plus 2, that means what does k have to equal? Now, in this case, in order to get 3, we have to plug in 1 for k, because 1 plus 2 is 3. So what we have then is we plug that k value into the remaining part of our equation. All right, so we have 1 plus 1 right here minus a sub 1, which turns out to be 1/2 times a sub 2 minus a sub 1. So what is that going to equal? Well, we can see that we're going to have, when we plug all these values in, we have a sub 2, which is 40. So we're going to have 1/2 of 40, all right, minus a sub 1, which is 52. And so we have is 20 minus 52, which gives us negative 32. So that's a sub 3. We do the same thing then for the remaining parts. All right, we have a sub 4 and a sub 5. So to find a sub 4, well, what does that have to be? Well, k has to equal 2. So we plug in 1/2. We then plug in the 2 into here. We get 3, so a sub 3 minus a sub 2. Well, the third term we found out to be 1/2 of negative 32. We then are going to subtract that from a sub 2. A sub 2 was, once again, was 40. And so now we divide the 1/2 into 32, which is just negative 16. And we have minus 40. And so we have negative 56. And that is a sub 4. And then to find a sub 5, we go through the same process. We need to find our k value. K value, in order to get this right here, we have k equaling 3. And so we have 1/2 a sub 3 plus 1, which is 4. So we're using the previous term minus the one preceding that one, which is going to be a sub 3. So 1/2 of negative 56 minus negative 32. So it'll be negative 32, which will turn into positive. And we can simplify that right there. And what do we have? Negative 28 plus 32. And we have a total of 4. And 4 would be our value. So that is a recursive definition, using the preceding terms to help you find the next terms. Use this a lot in Excel and spreadsheet applications, and it's another way of writing out functions. Okay, hope that helps out. I'm going to go through some more recursive definitions in the next tutorials.